I am with a Nigerian think tank called the Center for Public Policy Alternatives based in Lagos. My question actually is related to what you were just talking about. We've heard members of APC say that if APC loses, and I understand that you believe that you will win, but they've said that they will form a parallel government. And I think a lot of people are worried about what that means in terms of violence and insecurity and confusion in Nigeria. And I'm just curious as to what how APC plans to manage post-election scenarios if, for whatever reason, it doesn't win, and it believes that it doesn't win because it was, due to unfair practices or something.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Let's take those two questions quickly. The road network. In fact, the entire road infrastructure is a very important part of the APC manifesto, and we're looking at actually doing considerable work with the road network and also with rail transportation generally. But we think that not only will that increase jobs, because without every single plan in our manifesto has a job creation element. So we think that it's very important, a road network will be very important. But funding the road network, we're looking at creation of road bonds, the road infrastructure bonds, where we intend to create the opportunities for investment in roads from the private sector, from individuals also, and to match that with government funds. We also believe that unless we're able to do some PPPs as in the public-private sector, in building our roads, we may not be able to succeed much. So to some extent, government funding of the road network will be important, but also we intend to have several PPPs. And we intend to fund it, we intend to at least add to funding by a road infrastructure fund, a bond, which we intend will be done, as quickly as possible. Some of the scenarios that we've been looking at are tolling, especially with respect to interstate roads. We think that we must introduce tolling in interstate roads, especially for our road bonds, for the road infrastructure bonds. Because we must have a sinking fund for some of those bonds. And tolling would be important, especially for those interstate roads. And for PPPs, tolling might be extremely important, especially, as I said, for the interstate highways. Without extensive road development, a lot of the economic plans and ideas may not happen, or may not happen as quickly as we want. So it's a very important aspect of the work that we intend to do. There are several different, I don't want to go into all the details of the several networks that we think are important across the country, but all of this is important for us. The question of introducing a parallel government and post-election, possible post-election crisis and all that. Now, it's important to bear in mind that it is really up to the ruling government, to the ruling party, to ensure that elections are free and fair. And we've made that point repeatedly, that it does not lie in the control of the opposition to ensure free and fair elections. It is up to the ruling party. And everywhere and every time that you have seen free and fair elections, you would never find any kind of crisis thereafter. For example, the June 12th elections that we're talking about, there was absolutely no crisis, no violence, nothing. Because it was a free and fair election. And free and fair elections always come with very little violence. Now, in the event, and the APC has said, that in the event that there is electoral robbery, that we are robbed of our rightful place, of our victory, that we will establish a parallel government. The details of that, of course, we will speak about only when the time comes. But we will certainly provide a moral alternative for the people of Nigeria. We certainly will not accept that there's been a clear case of robbery, and so we're just going to look and roll over. That will be the end of it. That will not happen. And the reason why it will not happen is because if a majority of Nigerians say that they want a change, and that change is thwarted by a small group of people who say that they must hang on to power, then there must be a way of showing that that is not going to happen. We're going to ensure as much as possible, and we'll keep emphasizing that no one should lose their lives on account of this. That will work hard at doing. But certainly, it's the sort of thing that we must try as much as possible to avoid at all costs. And that's why we're speaking now, and we're asking our friends in the international community, we're saying to the ruling party as well, that we've signed peace accords. We have signed all manner of agreements that there should be free and fair elections. But that free and fair elections lie almost entirely in the hands of the ruling party. You cannot rig an election, you can't deploy troops, and you can't refuse to authenticate voters' cards and do all manner of things, and then say that the elections have been free and fair. So I think that it's important. I think a lot of emphasis has to be placed on ensuring that the elections are indeed free and fair. And for those who are familiar with election rigging in Nigeria, it's not the first time that the ruling party has rigged elections extensively. In 2007, almost every international observer said that the elections were rigged and that the outcome of the election was unacceptable. Almost every single international observer, the EU, the US government, the British government, all of them condemned the way in which the elections were rigged. I'll give you just one example. In one state, because I was involved in election petitions thereafter, trying to get back the states that were rigging to. In one state, in a particular polling booth, and we had to hire just to show that the elections were rigged. The ACM then, which has become a big part of the APC, had to hire 53 police handwriting experts, British police handwriting experts, and 10 Israeli handwriting experts. Altogether 63 handwriting experts to show that what happened in a lot of polling booths was multiple thumbprinting. So one individual simply thumbprints several thousands. And how did we show that? Of course, we showed it by forensic evidence, by the work of these experts, but also by simply demonstrating that if you say that you had 20,000 votes in a polling booth and you voted between the hours of 8 and 3 p.m., it's impossible to do so except if each person voted in under 10 seconds. And we're able to demonstrate that. So some of this stuff is as ridiculous as that. So when you have that kind of barefaced cheating, it's very difficult for people to accept that that is the outcome of the election. And that's why we're saying that this kind of outrage simply cannot be permitted to go on.
Thank you very much. Let's give you